If you want to copy Dan Locke's $10 million genius and apply it to your business to break through high six figures or seven figures, stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of The Truth About Business. Today we're talking about how you can apply Dan Locke's genius that he's doing really well and apply that same concept in your business on both a macro and a micro level. So, what is Dan Locke's genius? Well, if you study him for long enough and if you watch his videos for even an hour and you've been around the block, you'll know that a lot of what he teaches and what he shares is nothing new. And it's actually been self-admitted by him where he steals everybody's material. He said himself that he just regurgitates and replicates what works well already. So what I find with him as his genius is that he takes something small that maybe people are ignoring and he makes them big. Or he'll take something and he'll really squeeze the juice out of it. A lot of the stuff that he teaches you can find from Dan Kennedy. Even the stories that he tells, he'll steal exact stories from other people. Now, I'm not telling you to steal things and steal concepts the way Dan does, because I do have a bit of concern around that, where he's using the same urinal story that Dan Kennedy used at one of his events. Dan Locke used that at one of his events as well, where he caught someone supposedly at a urinal on his phone and being ashamed by that. That's a Dan Kennedy story. I don't believe that Dan Locke actually experienced that, but Dan Locke is very good at taking a good concept that someone's used and just running with it, which is what a lot of smart people do. So, what does this mean for you? Well, how can you take what's working and make it work even better? How can you take what's working and just run with it farther than anyone else? So the analogy that I'd like to give is that a lot of entrepreneurs, they will squeeze a lemon that's in their hand and squeeze it a little bit and then see some success with it, right? See some juice come out of it. But then they'll move on and look for other lemons to squeeze because they think they'll get more juice if they were to hold 10 lemons in their hands and try to squeeze all of them at once. Instead, my proposal to you is to find a lemon and squeeze it as much as you can until you get all the juice out of it before moving on to another one. An example of that would be, for instance, if you find a certain big idea or an angle in a Facebook ad working really well, how many other ways can you use that in your business? Can you use that in Google Ads? Can you use that on your YouTube channel as content? Can you use that in YouTube in-stream ads? Can you use that for your email list? Can you use that on Instagram? Can you say that same idea in a different way, right? Because one of my early copywriting teachers told me that really good copywriters are able to say the same thing over and over again, but language it differently so that it's almost like someone like your prospect or your audience or your customers are hearing the same song over and over again, but they're hearing it in kind of a different way that feels new and jazzy, right? So that's what I mean. It's like, how can you take one thing that's worked really well and just run with it all the way? So a good example of this would be Tim Ferriss. He milked that 4-hour thing over and over and over again until he moved on from it. But he didn't move on until he squeezed that lemon until it was dry. So that's why he's been able to succeed so quickly, right? Some other examples. If you're finding a trend in your customer support where you're seeing the exact same piece of feedback over and over again, How can you take that small concept that you're seeing over and over again and apply it to your marketing, or apply it to your YouTube content, or apply it to your Instagram content, or apply it to your Facebook ads, right? How can you take something small and run with it and make it really, really, really big? So that's what I have for you guys today. Look for the things in your business that you might be overlooking, that is a lemon that you're holding in your hand, but you're choosing not to squeeze it because your eyes are everywhere else trying to look for another lemon to squeeze, when there's a perfectly fresh one right in front of you waiting to be squeezed, so that you can reap the rewards of all the juice that you have from milking that lemon, so to speak. So, if you found this valuable, leave us a like. Tell us in the comments how you are going to take something small and make it really big in your business. And we will see you in the next one. Take care.